So if December is the season to be merry, and often people are a bit too merry, then January is the season to be sad, I would say. It's like the kind of come down after the high and the build up and everything of Christmas and New Year. And I think I myself suffer a lot in January, and most people do. I think it's one of those months which just seems to go on forever. It's such a long month. Often people have been paid early before Christmas, which is great, but then of course it makes the month seem even longer in January. And it's just like, you know, you just kind of wish you could go to sleep and not wake up, you know, wake up in February or something, you know, but sadly we can't hibernate. I'm sure in the olden days people probably did almost semi-hibernate, you know, probably just had a bit of soup and didn't really do much, but we can't do that anymore because our society has created this modern wonderful world where you have to carry on anyway. So seasonal affective disorder, I think, is something which really kicks in January and even February a little bit, but I always find somehow February seems a bit better because, I don't know, it's like spring's just around the corner and you're starting to see the snowdrops, and you know, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, or the light coming back into the days. But really in January there's not much. I know we've had the darkest day, but it's not much different, you know. You don't really notice the change until later on, I'd say more February. So yeah, I just wanted to say a bit about that, and again how it shows the importance of the sun and sunshine, and how it brings everything to life and brings us to life, and how not only is it good for your bones, we know about that, you know, the vitamin D and everything, but it so affects your mood so much. And oh yeah, that's what I would say about when I lived for only 1 month in Lapland, which is obviously very in the northern hemisphere. Lapland kind of covers northern Finland, Sweden and Norway, I think it is, something, I'm not sure. Anyway, I was in northern Finland, I know that, and it's quite an interesting job working as kind of Santa's, I think my job title was like makeup artist stroke wardrobe stroke elf. So that was actually on my job title, but most of the time I was just doing all the makeup and stuff and making Santa look believable, which he did. He was great guy. But basically what we all noticed was the first week we were there, we were having a good time, and you know, it's all new and everything. But towards the end of the month, everybody became very, very insular, kind of, is that the right word? You know, introverted and not really wanting to socialise, and it kind of happened gradually, but by the end we kind of realised, like, we're all just feeling really, really sad. We're all a bit depressed. And, you know, it kind of sneaks up on you, but it's definitely, I think, caused by the lack of sun, because they only get about 4 hours at that time of year. It was in December, but 4 hours of twilight. So it's this kind of magical half light, which is actually really beautiful, but you're not getting the sun. There's the sun. Hello, sun. You're not getting the sun through properly at all. So they actually have the opposite in the summer, so that's supposed to be quite cool. But basically, in these countries, what transpires is when you talk to people that they have a very, very high suicide rate, especially in these winter months, because, you know, people can't help it. It's like, even when you know it's going to happen, you can't kind of stop it, you know. So yeah, it's very, very difficult, and I guess we're lucky that we still get a little bit of light sometimes. But I'm sure, I don't know if the studies have probably already been done, but I'm sure if they were to do a study where you compared, like, you know, depression in these kind of countries like Lapland and depression in the Caribbean, it's going to be a lot less in countries where they have sun all year round. Although personally, I think if I lived in those kind of countries, I would miss the seasons, because I like to see the changing of the seasons. But yeah, that's the only thing. But obviously for your mood and for your bones and your body, it's a lot better for you. And that's why a lot of people retire to these countries as well. So it helps a lot of ailments, being in the sun more, and also it does make you feel good. So yeah.